All right, WWC Rock Days. You're here for our maiden voyage, right? This is the maiden voyage. Uh, Friends of mine for 20 plus years. Mr. Hayes, take a bow.
Hello.
And Moose, so you deserve a bow as well. What's going on, fellas?
What are we doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
You know, we all met at college. We all met at this college in Washington, but I'm curious for each of us as we talk about our college days and our friendship, but also we're going to talk about some rock and roll, some metal, other genres of music. But I'm curious, what was your college journey to end up in Washington, where we all met? So, who wants to go first with that one?
I can, if you like.
Yeah,
Go
let's do
for it,
it.
man.
So I wrapped up high school in Auburn, Washington, and then went over to Walla Walla College. And I was there for about a year and a half. Money got a little tight, so I took a job and dropped out of school for a bit. And then,
What job did you take?
so I stocked and worked the till at Big Apple Market, right on state line there between Oregon and Washington.
Nice.
So yeah, back in the day, I worked there for I guess it would have been January of 99. Yeah, January of 99. And worked there then through the next fall. And then I left and went up to school in Canada. A school that is now called Berman University, but used to be called Canadian Union College.
Oh,
And
nice. Yeah.
I was up there for 2.5 years and graduated from there with a degree in outdoor ed and youth at risk counseling. And then as soon as I was done there, I went down to Utah and I skied and snowboarded and worked at 2 restaurants during the '02 Olympics.
That's awesome.
And then I decided I hadn't had enough school, so then I went back to Walla Walla and started back there again, and that's where I met you. Where I met you, fine fellows.
You know, your outdoor ed, the snowboarding and skiing sounds right, but it almost sounds like you should be on one of these survival shows. Is that type of degree?
You know what? I think I could have done that like 20 years ago. Now, man, I like hot showers.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You
Moose
know,
grills. Is that what you like meant it a little bit?
yeah,
That's
moose grills instead of bear
Yeah.
grills.
Exactly.
Oh, that ain't
Exactly.
good.
That'd have been good. That's
My
Now you'd
funny.
be all
my
right eating
cousin
a grub
Chris
and
and
a worm because you had no that stuff if you had no food out there.
I I ate grubs
Oh,
on a couple survival trips. Just try to
what?
make sure you don't taste it and push it down with some grass and or clovers or whatever. But
Oh, I was gonna
I
say
ate
what
a
it tastes
couple
like.
dirt.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna say kind of tastes like
Yeah.
dirt, right?
So if you take a worm and just squeeze it, make sure everything's out of it, and then eat it,
Oh,
No, I'm good.
it just kind of tastes like dirt.
I'm good.
or
I'm
something that crunches when
Oh,
you.
yeah, like potato bugs,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
little,
mhm.
yeah,
No.
a couple times, and I was like, you know what, I'm okay. I can just be hungry. It's only 2 more days.
You go find a crow out of a tree or something. I need some
Yeah,
crow. I'm
yeah,
not.
exactly.
I can't vibe on the grubs yet. No. But hard times, man. You never know. Gotta do what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
yeah. What if the instructor never came back and picked us up or something?
Right. Yeah, you'd be eating tree bark or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Moose, Utah, is that where you gained like some of your cooking skills? Because you got some cooking
Mhm.
chops.
Yeah, that's where I worked at a Brighton ski resort at a place called the Alpine Rose, and it was more of a like a cafeteria style.
Mm.
Worked there, but then I really cooked at a place called St. Bernard's, which was at Solitude Resort, and the Thirsty Squirrel um, brew pub, and those were both at Solitude. What's crazy about that is my wife and I were just talking about this. It was at Winter Olympics pretty much 24 years ago, like today
Yeah.
Wow,
is when that
Yeah.
was.
that's super
Or
cool.
is that right?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
started
it was a
again. Yeah.
long
24.
time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
all
So
these
yeah,
years later, what if you're gonna impress somebody, what is the dish that you're gonna pull out all these years later?
it's gonna be the New York style cheesecake. Um, and that's I learned that in Utah. And it's gonna be a San Marzano tomato sauce with a
Oh.
lasagna or pasta, but it's that one came later, like, uh, that one came later. But
And then
yeah,
just refining your craft, like a
yeah,
recipe, if you will. Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. Cool.
All right,
that's
cool.
probably it.
All right, Hayes, how did you get to the lovely state of Washington?
Oh, mine was a little more I don't know, straightforward is the word, but I grew up in Alabama, in Montgomery,
The Gump.
Alabama, born and raised. Yeah, the Gump. That's right, the dirty. Um, still have the radio station called the Gump. Still my favorite every time I go home.
Love it.
Nice.
Home of the minor league biscuits, if you ever want to catch a game.
Oh,
Minor league baseball team. But yeah, I grew up in Montgomery. And when I was going through kind of seniorish year, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And my mom had a pretty well-established rule that I like to carry on my own today. It's called 18 plus 6. You got 18 years and 6 months to figure out what you want to do. You're going to figure it out outside of my house. That's either go to the military, go to school, get a job, whatever it is. And especially if you just want to start working, cool, great. Figure out what that life is like and go at it, right? Outside of my place. So I took it to heart, probably more than she thought I would. And I knew I wanted to go to school. I considered the military, but that didn't work out because like I was like '02, so this is like right pre 9/11, and I had a really good set of high school government teacher who was like before 9/11 pushing me, let's go to the Marines, let's do the thing. I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And then 9/11 happened, and he's like, day of, you're not going. And I'm like, huh? It's like, nope, you're not going because you're doing this for school. This ain't your life. And he's like, yeah, you're not wrong. Probably a good call. And so I knew I wanted to go to college still, as I was still always a part of the plan. And I went looking for colleges, and I looked to go to school in Japan first.
wow.
Mom said, nope, continental United States. Um, and I was looking at specifically like parochial schools, obviously, like because that's what we were familiar with. And I was like, cool. Um, and then I found Walla Walla honestly on a joke, like looking through a directory of schools. Like, and I was like, what's
Like, this
this?
school's not real.
Well, the only thing I knew was the Offspring song, man. That's the only
Okay.
time I'd ever heard of it. And
There
I
you
had
go.
no other context other than the Offspring song. And even that I didn't really know. I just remember that there was a lyric in the song. And I was like, okay, this looks silly. But let's go look. And I looked, and they had an engineering team, and had another engineering school, and had another really good, like, kind of computer apps teacher who was like, came to me and was like, you're not like a computer science traditional guy. You don't like coding for life. Like, you do it, you can do it, but that's not your jam. And you're not like a, you know, what do you call it? Like an electrical engineer kind of type. We think there's this thing called computer engineering. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, okay. And so it happened to line up, and I'm looking at the wall. I'm like, oh, they got this thing. All right, let's go and apply. And so I applied. And long story short, like most of my applications, I didn't hear anything back for a very long time. I was very like, like I know my grades weren't great, but they weren't that bad. But I got a few good rejection letters, like all the ones I really wanted to go to, and it was like, oh, okay. And I called Walla Walla up, and I talked to like the admissions office, and they were like, cool, what do you want to do? And I'm like, engineering. And like, where are you from? And I told them where I'm from, and they're like, cool. All right, you're in. And I was like, oh, that was easy. And that was literally the conversation, and that's what
Wow.
locked it up. So I headed to Walla Walla in '02, um, which was like my first. Was it my first? It might have been like my first or second plane ride ever. Like I'd been out of
Oh,
Alabama
nice.
plenty, but not like, you know. Yeah, I've been to Texas a couple times, but not far past the Mississippi. Let's put it that way, right? So it was like totally out of this world. Like Florida, West Coast, went to Portland. I was like, this is okay. And then I started driving from Portland to Walla Walla, and then we hit the desert. And my sister, and my mom were with me. Were like, "What have you done?" And it was a really weird like thing. But anyway, we got there, and like that's kind of what got me there. Like they had an engineering program, and they let me in. And so I was like, all right, let's go see. Because my grades weren't great. Like I was a nerd, but like I just like, I was good at the nerdy stuff, right? So I was like side hustling, doing jobs, doing techie stuff, but like I wasn't like my grades weren't stellar. So I was like, hey, I got in, I'll take it, and that's kind of what got me there. Yeah.
Nice.
So your mom had the 18 and 6 rule, but there was some asterisks like there was
Oh, yeah.
hidden rules underneath, like you got to
Oh,
stay in, United States or stateside, not even maybe Hawaii or up
but to
there in
be clear,
Alaska,
I went
maybe.
the
Yeah.
furthest, yeah, continental United States was what she literally said. That's why that imprinted in my brain. And then I literally went the furthest I could go from Alabama, right? I was like, oh, 3,000 miles away sounds good. Let's go. Right. Honestly, if Alaska had a school at the time, I might have considered it. I had this like weird dream that I was gonna like, for some reason I was obsessed with BC. I think I read a magazine article or something. I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna live there. I'm gonna use that as my springboard to get to BC. I'm gonna live this really cool life in BC. I didn't know anything about BC. I just in my brain, I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be awesome. And that never worked. But I got pretty
BC is
close.
pretty.
Yeah, I know it's gorgeous. I just was like, I think I literally saw like a Time magazine or something. I was like, oh, this place is National Geographic or something. Like this looks great. I
Like
should
I'm
go live
going.
here. But yeah, anyway, I lived in Walla Walla, which was stellar. Yeah.
I know we'll talk about this probably in future episodes, but where did the sweet potato pie recipe come from?
Oh,
Whose is that?
Oh, well, there's a couple versions of that. Uh, if you ask my mother-in-law, there's one version, and then there's the probably real version that my mom has. Um, I will tell you quickly the mother-in-law version because that's the one I stick to. Um, I told her very long time ago. We married almost 20 years, not quite, but she asked for the recipe, and I was like, I can't give you the recipe. I'm sorry. It's a very like close family secret. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, did you get out of a book? I'm like, no, 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 no. This is the recipe that held my family together during slavery. I just went hard from the beginning
Just
because
all
that's
the
all I remember.
history. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, look, master came and was gonna split the family up, but literally like my great grandmother was like, sorry, if you do that, I'm not gonna make the sweet potato pie for you anymore.
Wow.
And that pie and her ability to cook, because he loved the pie so much, is what kept the family together and it allowed the whole family to stay together until slavery was abolished in like 1865 because they were going to get split up before that, and if they got split up back then, man, there was fat chance
yeah.
finding anybody.
So
And I
how
was like,
big are her eyes when you're telling her the story? I mean, oh
massive,
yeah, yeah.
massive, and
Not
I'm
no
like,
blinking.
lots of nodding. And
Uh,
just to be clear, I told her this, and I told her siblings this as well
yep.
at the same time. And these folks don't know a lot of brown folks, so like they were just like,
Yeah.
wow. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you can't share that recipe. That's sacred for your family. I'm like, yes, yes, it is. And likely the Betty Crocker book that my mom probably found it out of. But it's sacred. It's sacred.
Hey, everybody, the family people put like a little different like
Uh-huh.
twist on everything, and
This is
that
true.
becomes the family secret.
This is true. This is very much so true. It's just the same reason my pancakes that I make with Bisquick or Big Bear's old fashioned buttermilk griddle cakes. That's what I call them when I make them at home.
They're
And they're like there's
legendary.
some magical. And the
Yeah.
secret is cinnamon. Go figure.
Ah, nice.
But you know, that's how the legends are born. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I can vouch for the pie. It is pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah. I still whip one out from time to time when I'm in the mood.
I mean, you
It's for
shared
the
the
holiday.
recipe with me a couple years ago, and I made
Yes.
two, and I might have eaten both of them myself.
You're in you're in the family. It's
I'm
okay.
in the circle, man.
In the circle. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
All
Chris, how
right.
about you, man? How'd you get in?
So I graduated, and then I think I was more like following friends. They went to Pacific Union College, so I went there,
Man.
and then little silly me. I'll work out the money. It's fine. The
Mm.
school's gonna help me. Spoiler alert: the school was not gonna help me. So like I think I got a little fooled into like the presentations to recruit you. Like, we're gonna work it all out, and so I was only there for a quarter.
Yeah.
Had the devastation. They're like, oh, I'm going back home. I'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
But went back to California, born and raised, Central Valley, and got a job and was going to a community college. So I was working at Blockbuster Video. It's Friday night, Saturday
yeah.
night,
Yeah.
crazy. People are in line to the end of the store, angry about movies, angry about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Calling people about their late fees. They did not like those phone calls.
Oh.
Did that for a bit while I was doing community college, and then eventually I got a job working in a warehouse. And once I went to nights, I was trying to do nights and school. I just stopped going to school exhausted. And so my 1 year of taking a break from college ended up being 2. And then a good buddy of mine, Corey, lifelong friend, we've known each other since like 2 years old. He was going to school in Walla Walla, and he just said, "Man, you're being an idiot. You're never gonna change anything," because he knew I didn't want to keep doing that
Yeah.
unless you just, make a clean break and move up to Washington with me. And his younger brother was going there too, and so I don't know how long I contemplated it for. Probably not too long. I mean, it was enough to like, okay, how am I going to make this work, and school loans and whatnot. And
Yep.
we loaded up 3. Drove like the U-Haul, and they had their 2 cars, and we headed up to Washington. I think it was like an 18-hour drive or something like that, or a 12-hour drive, something like that. It was long.
Yeah.
And then my cell phone's roaming the like entire time. Once we get into like middle of Oregon, that was a nice fat
Yep.
cell phone bill all these
Yep.
years later.
Yep.
Man, they used to get us good.
Oh,
with those
Yeah. All the time.
roamings.
All the
dirty,
time. Yeah.
dirty. It's hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd hunt me for a while on that one. I was like, "You're not gonna get this from me." They won. They won again. Spoiler alert. They won.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to keep
And
the
then
numbers.
we, my buddy Corey and my buddy Ryan, Corey's little brother, we lived off campus, and they had already been up there for a year, and so they were going around introducing me to people, and I got a job campus security, so I could work some early or late shifts. So I could still like hang out with friends and do the school thing. So did that for a while. And then I left. I got my bachelor's there and master's, and I left in the end of the summer 2005, and got my first, I guess, big boy job. But the reason I bring that part up is this funny about the name of Walla Walla College. I was telling my lead trainer when I graduated about the school, and she wouldn't believe me it was a real school. She's like, "You're
Yeah.
making that up. There's no
Yeah.
school named Walla Walla. That's the silliest name ever."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "No, it's a town so great they named it twice. And
Yeah.
haven't you heard of Walla Walla Onions and Drew
Yes.
Bledsoe? And
Yep.
there's a girl from the real world." And I had to bring up the actual website to show
Yeah.
her it was a college. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
People think it's like the Acme School of Engineering from the Roadrunner. Like that's literally what I get from a lot of them. I'm like, no, it's real. I know it's weird, but it's totally real. And why did you go there? In the middle of the desert in Eastern Washington? I'm like,
It's like, "No,
they
you're talking
took
about
the
Whitman.
time.
We've heard of Whitman." I'm like,
Yes.
no.
Everybody said, oh, you went to Whitman? I'm like, no, no, not that one.
No, that was even more money.
Exactly. 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 I'm not an Ivy Leaguer. Sorry. No, thank you. Oh man.
Now let's see. Where do we all remember meeting each other? How about Moose? You start with this one. Where did you meet us? So your version.
I'm like 99% sure that I met Jeremy in Kretschmar
Probably.
in the study area when I needed help with math,
That's
I would find him a lot there.
right?
uh,
And then
wrong
The
person for
engineering
help, but-
crew. There was a
Yes,
crew that hung out.
yes, that's true. But you're asking the wrong person for help. But that's
well, I just remember like that was a good it was a good probability that you might be able to find somebody who could help you with math.
for sure.
However, my final math class I took there started with 39 people and ended with 13 of us taking the final,
Oh.
and almost all the engineers dropped out of it. They're like, "No, we're going to take a different one. This one's too hard."
Jeez.
Did you
Yeah,
pass?
that's
But
great.
I'm pretty sure we met there, and then
Yeah.
immediately we're like watching baseball at Chris's house,
Probably, yeah.
or we might have watched UFC
Could have been both.
and grilled.
Yeah, grilling for sure.
The house off a little further or right across, like that
Across
White
from the
House.
shell,
Across
Yeah,
from the show.
the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I just saw it last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago for me too. I was over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy, does
Then,
that sound right? Do you remember? Does that sound right? Where Hayes's
Probably
Moose's
where I
version?
met. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I remember studying. Obviously, I remember studying in Crespo like that. I can't even remember what we called it. We called it the fishbowl. That's what we called it.
Oh yeah.
It was glass and all
Yeah.
glass. So we kind of lived there, man. Like that was my crew of people, like my fellow warriors, as we call, like, because It's the only place where you go and you pay to just get beaten. Like it's like if they take all the kids that are like, you're really smart, da 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 da, they just crush you. Just day in, day out. They're like,
We're gonna weed you
not
out.
that smart. Can you
All
do it with
your
the
hopes
slide
and
rule?
dreams.
Guess you can't.
Gone.
Yeah, exactly. It'll if you got ego, it'll humble you. Doesn't matter who you are. That's what it is. But yeah, no. That sounds about right. I think I'm trying to remember, Christopher, you. I think it wasn't security. I think it was speech. Because I'm pretty sure you got me the
100%,
hookup
bro. It
at
was
security.
speech class.
It
100%.
was speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember speech. Speech that year. I can't remember I remember her face, but I don't remember the professor's name. But that was like my first summer there because I was like, I don't know, partially afraid if I ever left, I couldn't come back for similar like financial reasons. But I told you I'd hustled before I came to college. So like, my mom's a teacher, which means like we knew what poverty was because teaching in America, whatever. So worked all high school and saved for most of that first year. But that second year, I was like, oh, I don't know where we're gonna get this from. And so I had to work that whole summer. And like I was like, I'm just gonna keep going to school. They won't kick me out if I just stay, take some more classes. And which is basically what I did. So I started, and I can't remember if that was my second year or my it would have been the first summer, right? First summer. Probably in summer of 03, probably.
Maybe. That was my first summer there. I
Yeah, that
believe,
would have been Ifton, yeah. And I stayed and took like speech and some history class and something else, like I had to repeat probably. But yeah, that's where I met you for sure. For sure. And then I think you got me a hookup with security. Was it that summer or was it the next summer? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember you guys both working security.
Oh, look at
Oh, yeah.
Dynamite in our uniforms, patrolling the
Yes.
campus, making sure
Yes.
everyone was safe.
Tight
Yep.
shorts and tight polo. Yeah.
Hey, you're cool when you work security. That just was like a badge of honor, and nobody
Yeah.
since then has made fun of me when they realized that I did
Yeah.
security for college, which,
Oh yeah.
I
The
wish
little
I had my
keys.
badge. I'd put it on right now.
The keys and the bike. I remember being on the
No.
bike.
Turn the light on.
Yeah, the bike with I can't remember the guy's name. I just remember his initials are BT, and I just remember the bike and that dude and just being
Brian.
like
Yeah,
Brian.
BT.
Yes, I was like, man, his shorts are mighty short. It's just like these are really high. But we had it was a fun summer. I'm not gonna lie, it was very weird. Because I spent that whole summer like I got class in the morning, like you said, and then like I started hanging out with you and like all the guys, and you invited us over to the house, I think, and
Yep.
they started hanging out and grilling and just like watching whatever. And then I remember specifically having like working in nights and talking to the cops at night, which
Yep.
like for me contextually bizarre. Just willfully talking to cops. Like very weird. Very weird.
Well, and I think around that time too it was more there was more talk about profiling. Because I know those officers were talking about that or what they were being accused of or what training they were supposed to be getting, something like that.
Yeah, but they were like, I don't know. I'm used to being like the black guy that's like, hey, I'm going to talk to you. But like, just it's the nature of being a black guy in certain spaces. You get to be what is it? South Park calls the emperor of all black people, right? You're like the Jesse Jackson or whoever it is.
You have to answer.
all the
Right?
things.
Yeah. Everyone wants to run questions through you. Yeah.
They're like, what is this? Especially this month, historically, they're like, hey, so like it's our Black History Spotlight. Jeremy,
tell us what you remember.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Let me remember my march to Selma. Let me go think of what that was like. I'm like, bruh, I grew up down there too. So it's a whole, the level of like is so different because I grew up in it. And so I'm so used to the history. I'm like, I've done the march, to be fair. I have honestly done it. I walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I've done the whole thing. But like not as an original. You know what I mean?
Not as an original.
So like the vibes all, it's interesting. But yeah, man, I remember sitting at night, like midnight, talking to, I remember his face, I can't remember his name, but talking to the cop, and he just like pull up to me, and I'd be there with like my whistle and my like pepper spray, you know what I mean, on my bike.
That whistle was intimidating, man.
Yes, that was gonna get him. My jangly keys, you know.
Yeah, someone just thinks you're officiating
really
a basketball game or something.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
It's a foul. Yeah,
and he's like, what? And like we're talking Metallica or something. I don't know what it was. And he was like, as soon as he knew that, he was like, oh, you're one of the good ones. And I'm like,
you're
whatever it takes.
Like, sir, do you mean college student?
Yeah,
what
exactly. I'm like, I can speak your
Like,
language. So I'm like, I
I
know.
have good music taste. Is
Yeah,
that what you
exactly.
mean?
I know what's going on. But it was, yeah, it
Ugh.
was fun, man. That whole summer was a blast. I just knocking on people's doors. Like I was messing with you guys, messing with whoever. I was messing with maybe Corey and some of those guys. Like they'd be
Oh yeah.
partying or whatever.
Yep.
And I'd just go like, this is a clean campus, so to speak. And I and I would
Ish.
go ish. And I just go, don't do the door as hard as I could, just banging on the door. Like, and there's silence because these guys would be partying, and I like, "Come security!" Like in my like deepest baritone, and then like they pop the door open, like just peek their heads out and be like, yes." They'd be like, yeah. Can I get a beverage? Is that good? You guys got anything to share? I'd be like, yeah, it was a
All of
good
a
time.
sudden, music is turned way down.
Oh
Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
yes. It was, man. And that was the most interesting part because like I didn't have any experience. I think you guys went to like Advent High School, I assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had never like we had a school in my church, but I never went. I was a public school kid, right? So
Culture
like,
shock.
oh, well, it was weird because like I got to college and I was really relieved to go to college. That was another kind of secrety reason I wanted to go really far away, right? Because like I knew I didn't want to come home, and shame is like a really powerful tool at that point in my life. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the shame of having to go home for me would have been like devastating. So I was like, I'm going to go out here where I have no choice but to figure it out and
Yep.
just survive. So after like living like a normal high school experience and they get into this place, I'm like, why are these kids filing out? Like, why is everybody like, what's going on? And I'm like, is it something in the what? Did I miss something? But like, why are they so like, I'm like, oh, this is the first time in their life they've been free. And I didn't click in my head at all. And I was like, that's interesting. I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't need to do. I've done all that stuff. I'm good, man. Like I've already gone through that, like, you know what I mean? Like normal stuff, right? And I'm like,
It's a totally different thing if you've come from a different background, right?
totally, totally. I went to college with like, and I was honestly, we'll call it clean living for 80% of my college experience, which was like, from where I've been before, which wasn't wild. It wasn't like I wasn't abnormally like crazy or anything party that hard, but whatever. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, I get it though. Now I get it that people are like losing their minds. But it was fun, man. It was good times. It was good
What
times.
anybody who was like sheltered and not allowed to do anything once they got away from their parents and to college. I mean, I saw it at Pacific Union College too. It just was like, oh my word, because
Yeah.
some of the people I'd grown up with, and it just like you shifted into a new gear, a new personality. It was
Yeah.
all, yeah, especially pastors' kids. I mean, that was
Oh, the
yeah,
PK stories, yeah. But it's the act of reinvention, right? Now there's nobody to watch me. Now I
yeah,
get to be
yeah.
who I want to be. Honestly, I did some of it too. Like I had my hair back then. I still have hair now. It's hidden under here. It just looks like trash. But you know what I mean? I had my like that's when I started growing my fro, right? Because
Yep.
before that, at home with mom, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like she's like, hey, job interviews. You're dealing with people. You're gonna be relatively clean cut. I didn't have much of a beard then. I had like a mustache. Relatively clean cut. Um, you know, you can't get too expressive. I remember getting my rat tail cut off. Let's put it that way, right? Like, like it was
Like Coming to America.
a little bit,
Oh,
a little bit,
classic.
a little bit, totally,
Just
Great.
make
totally.
it neat and nice.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But as soon as I got on campus, I was like, hey, there's nobody to cut black hair here, so I'm just gonna let that thing be, man. I'm just gonna, and I just let it grow and had a good old time, and it worked out. It was like, it was my walking like way to meet girls. It was awesome.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nice. It was awesome. What a good quote. My hair was gone by then, so I mean, I didn't have to. I just, my forehead's probably back here now, so I don't know.
Yeah, look, it made us an odd pair,
Hey.
man. I just remember we made us an odd pair.
Hey guys, I got to step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, no
you're all
problem.
good.
Hayes, I remember meeting you vividly because we were in speech class first
Mhm.
day, and I think you and I we were like, we're not going to smile at each other at all, and so it's like, who's the tougher guy in terms of like who's going to break,
I was
and we
hard back then.
didn't.
Yeah.
But where it changed for us is we had to. I think it had to be the first speech.
Yeah,
We had to like describe. We had to bring in props, but describe what we're into. And you and I both brought in these big CD books. And then at
Yeah.
the end, you and I ended up in the elevator to go down, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we just
yeah.
started talking about music, and it was all she wrote at that point. And
Yeah,
then
man.
we were having barbecues at the house and hanging
Yeah,
out, and I
that
think
was it.
Dovich was around, and
Yeah,
Winslow's were probably
Dovich,
around.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Dovich was around and the like the Winslow boys and like
yep.
yeah, man. It was
But it
good
was
time.
music. It was what did it because it let you and I let our guard down where we didn't have to
Yeah.
act tough around each other. And
Yeah,
then it was
man.
you and I just start talking, and that was it. And
I'll
I
be
told you,
honest, right? You
yeah.
gotta put it in context. I'm close to Idaho. I'm like, there's a skinhead dude over here. I'm like, I don't know what's up with that guy. You know what I mean? I didn't know. You know what I mean? It took me a while. There you go. And I didn't know. And I was like, oh, he's not one of those. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. You know? And
I'm
I
not a
was like,
skinhead. It's all genetics, man. What
I
can I
know. Well,
say?
you know, like, that's why like I'm not a graybeard, but same thing. But like that's I didn't know, you know what I mean? And I'm used to like, you know how dudes are at that age. Like you got so much to prove,
Oh
you
yeah,
and all this stuff. And it's
testosterone
like,
and yeah.
yeah, you're like, I gotta be. I'm like, and so yeah, I needed a it was hard to find people who were which was the odd thing too, like, especially coming there, I'm like, why am I listening to the hardest sets? Like, this is so bizarre. I'm the dude in the Pantera. And these guys are like, what is this music? And I'm like, that was freaked me out, man. I was like, I didn't get it. And that was
That's
like a
not
weird,
Christian music. Yeah.
yeah, that was the whole thing too, honestly. Like getting, like, cause worship styles are different, all the other stuff. Getting the music scene down was
Yeah.
super weird for me. Cause I'm like, there's people playing guitar. I see them, but they weren't like, it was just different. And I didn't get like, I'm used to gospel music and that kind of setup, you know what I mean? But like, I got a pretty wide range of taste, right? I'm like, but I couldn't find anybody. I found a couple guys like that I meshed with, like were engineering guys, but like, wasn't a lot. It was so weird. And my tastes were all over the place, right? It was anything from like punk pop to like
Eclectic. Yeah.
pop rock to like old school stuff, like stuff I grew up on with my dad and like current state metal, a lot of new metal that I've gone from being ashamed to not being ashamed anymore. I think we all go that journey. For some reason at the time, I remember like, I don't know if it was at the time, but near that time I hated Hootie for some reason. Don't ask
Uh,
me why. And I have like great like put on Let Her Cry and I'm half bawling.
oh
It
man,
doesn't make any
that
sense.
debut is just a work of
Exactly. But I'm like,
brilliance. Yeah.
I'm so confused. Like, I don't know what I went. I think I bandwagoned that, and I was like, I was retroactively ashamed that I jumped on that bandwagon. But I remember specifically taking a CD of Cracker Review and breaking it
Oh,
in high school. Like, I was like, nah, bah. I
gonna have
was
to
like,
buy
look at
this
me.
again.
I don't listen
Did
to this
you
stuff.
did you get that Cracked Review CD on BMG
Oh,
or
or Columbia
Columbia
House.
House?
Yeah,
Which
I was,
I had both.
I
10
steered
for
clear.
1
I think I got it on out of like the bin because I was a bin shopper. I still
at
am a
a
bin
Walmart.
shopper. Nah, it was either maybe a tower or a oh my gosh, I can't remember the other one. It might have been we had a tower and we had like another little local one that was super popular and I'd go in there all the time. I just sit in the bins waiting for a cheap one. And I'm 99% sure I bought it used. That's the only reason I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rate this because I don't
You
pay
remember
$9
Hot
for it.
Poop?
Yeah,
Remember that music store, Hot Poop in Walla Walla?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I think I do. I think I bought
It's gone now, isn't it? I think, or
I
is it?
think I
Yeah.
bought 7 to South Side double wide there.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, that time
We had
went.
to search for that. We had to search for that one. I totally forgot the name of that store. Wow,
Yeah,
hot
that was a
poop.
cool spot.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely gone now. I can't remember what year. I think it left before we did.
Oh, okay.
No. It was later. It was later because
Was
I
it?
used to go in after I finished because I was
Okay.
there till like let's see, '07, and my wife's family like knew the guys somehow. They were like close with him. Um, so it would have been let's see, when I leave, I left the Valley in '07, like right. I got married in '07, right? Yeah, I got married in '07, so I left at the end of '07. And it was still there then, and then a couple summers later, maybe. Yeah, those
Cool.
guys retired or whatever. They look like deadheads, right? They always were like,
Yeah, they
you
did.
know,
100%.
hardcore Grateful Dead stuff in the windows and stuff. It was it's a
Searching
different
for the
time.
music scene. All right, Moose, where did we meet?
I'm quite sure it was intramural football.
See, I think it was
But
at a house party because you knew my sister first.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I
Oh
can't remember if we were
my God.
inside or we were on the porch, but that's my first memory of you. But then, yeah, definitely intramural football for
Was
sure.
it Okay, was it that that house party that you and I were like the only sober people?
I think so. I think so.
And there was a ton of like young like freshmen there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
Yeah,
the designated
like
drivers. Hmm.
yeah, it
Mhm.
was between like College Place and the penitentiary.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. I remember
Yes.
that. That was probably like, well, we probably played football soon after that also.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, as
yeah,
soon as I
I
saw you, like I once we met, then I saw you everywhere.
That's how
yeah,
it goes.
that's the way it is, right?
That's how it goes in Moose.
Weight
That's what it's
room.
saying.
And then
Yep.
there was a group of us that used to work out together, and we'd go run that hill after we'd
Yeah.
lift,
Oh,
and just kind
geez.
Yeah.
of
Just
The
trying to
cemetery
blow
hill?
our Achilles tendons early.
Right.
Yeah,
Which later
yeah.
happened to
I've
me,
known
yep.
so many broken legs on that hill, man. That's crazy. My sister-in-law broke her leg on that hill
Oh,
sledding down it, and
Oy.
like Christmas time.
sledding.
Oh yeah, on a mattress. You know,
I
Walla
got a
Walla stuff.
picture of me and Matt Gaynor and Pedro Carriega
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
Cameron
Fable.
Gray, who we don't know where he is. At some point he disappeared, and
Mm.
kind of a crazy weird situation. But I have a funny photo of the four of us, like freshman year at Walla Walla, with inner tubes sliding down that hill shirtless.
Oh
Um,
yes, of course.
yeah, just that's pretty funny.
In the days
That's
of
Best
Mud
times.
Bowl.
testosterone at its finest right
Yeah,
there.
Mud Bowl. All the things I
Oh,
Yeah,
always
yeah.
Mud
like.
Bowl.
Mhm.
Right.
Like
I forgot
I will
about
let
that.
them go do that. I'm good. It's like so on my
Yeah.
list of things. No.
I played Mud Bowl only 1 year.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Your
I don't
ankle
think I ever
survived
played
it.
it. I'm pretty
No, me
confident I
neither.
didn't.
Oh, I
Well, the
watched it a
hard
few
part
times.
was the mud was like 3 feet deep. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't even run.
No,
You need a lifeguard.
no, you just
Yeah,
break your
like
ankles. That's all it
get
was.
me going in open field, sure. In the mud,
No, no. It's a good way to break an ankle. That's all I thought of.
yeah.
Like, oh, this looks. Nah, I'm good. I'm quite good.
If you had to, since we're accessing these memories where we met, if you had to narrow in 3 artists you were listening to around that time, who comes to mind?
I wrote down 7.
Oh, nice. Excited.
Go for it. You go first.
Do you
You
want
already got
7
it.
or do you want 3?
You do whatever you want.
7 Dust,
Mm,
Who we
Chevelle.
saw, didn't we all drive to
yeah,
Spokane to see them in
yeah,
concert in the snow?
yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yep.
On the Seasons tour.
With Will and oh my God,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Will and not Will, the other
And
What
brothers.
was
Nate,
Will's
but there was another
Nate?
wasn't there
There
an
you go.
engineer, another engineer that went with us too?
Yeah, it would have been is my buddy
I can
okay,
see him.
2 different shows.
Okay.
One when we went up to you mixing Chevelle and Seven Dust. For Seven Dust, I think my buddy Marcus went with us. Right?
I
Was
remember
it
was-
Marcus.
There was like a stocky dude too. What was his name? Dark hair,
That's
short.
Marcus. That's Marcus.
That's Marcus? Okay.
Yeah, he was in we're in the same wedding. Yeah, it's Marcus.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Nino was on right before Seven Dust.
Yeah, the spinning
Yeah.
guitar guy. the one trick they had, I remember it. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good
A
time.
good one.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
man.
the first time I saw Seven Dust was in Spokane in spring of '99, and it was Nickelback and Seven Dust
Wow.
opening for Creed.
Whoa.
Wow. That's a show.
And isn't that wild?
Yeah,
And
it's a
then like
show right
years
there.
later, it's like flipped. It would have
Yeah.
been like Creed, Seven Dust
Mhm.
opening for Nickelback.
Nickelback for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
But I remember being at that show and Nickelback came out, and I loved their first album with
Mhm.
Leader of Men on it.
yeah,
That was a great
that was a
one.
good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
And then Seven Dust came out, and I'm like, these guys are incredible.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is so good. And I'd
Yeah.
been to a few shows by then, and then Creed played, and they were good, but I liked Seven Dust better. And then
Yeah.
I think I've seen Seven Dust like 14 times now,
Wow.
Wow.
but I think only maybe I think 4 of them were by accident. Like I got to Vegas, and then I found out that they were playing at House of Blues, and
that's
so
cool.
Ubered in and saw Seven Dust, and then you get there, and oh man, what's her name? The guy that Zach Wild's band.
Oh, Black Label
Um,
Society.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Seven Dust opening up for BLS, and you
Yep.
get there, and I'm like, I'm so excited to see them, and they're like, oh, we love BLS, and I'm like, yeah, me too, but I'm really here for Seven
yeah,
Dust.
yeah,
And then I thought I was gonna get stabbed.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Like we can like both people. It's okay.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
no, it's
okay.
one or the other, man. One or the other. No,
Uh,
that was that's wild.
so I'd say Seven Dust, Chevelle.
Yep, that was
Yeah.
Chevelle's on my list too. It was the
Um,
Red album, right? That song.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah,
I'm still that losing that jacket's literally what my wife's like, you're still thinking about it. I'm like, yeah. I've been searching for it on eBay for like 15, 20
was
years.
it like the
Finally found it.
nylon, like a windbreaker?
It was like a windbreaker, but it had Chevelle. It was for the Red album, and it was like it had like a red stripy thing that was on the album cover, and I wore that thing. And I loved that
I
jacket.
remember that jacket.
I lost it on an airplane. I got off the plane
Oh.
and I was like, oh, no, I left my jacket. Run back. And they're like, there's no jacket. I'm like, but bruh, like I know it was here. And there's some person who cleans airplanes who's like, I like Chanel. And they have a jacket now
This
that
is
they
my
still
jacket
probably wear.
now.
Yeah. And I'm
So
like,
we saw them with Helmet and then Strata. There might have been one other band
Yep.
in there. Strata was the
Nonpoint.
opener.
Strata, I remember because I bought the
Nonpoint
Strata album.
Oh,
so
and
I was-
Future Leaders of the World.
Wow.
Hell
It
no.
was
Okay.
5
Yeah.
bands.
Wow.
I think that was 5 bands?
5 bands. I remember, but we
Wow.
didn't know that. I think we got there.
Late, maybe?
Yeah. I feel like we got
I don't
Strata,
know.
I know.
Strata
All
was
I
the
know
shot.
is
specifically.
we get there and we're like, oh, this is gonna be a late night because
Yeah. We drove
drive
back, did we? That's
yeah,
nuts. God,
I
that kind of
snowed
energy.
the whole
God, I
way.
feel for that kind of energy. Man,
I know.
Strata was so good though. That
Strata was
record,
good.
wow.
I got a signed copy of it. Like,
Yep, me too.
it's somewhere around here.
I
One of
do
my
too.
books.
Yeah.
And
the books.
remember, I saw the guys from Chevelle. They walked past the car when I was putting our jackets in the car.
Yeah, it's awesome. Because at that
Yeah.
time it was the three brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
just my favorite part of the night still is like my buddy, little Starkey came with us on that trip. Darren came with us and Starkey came with us.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
I remember Starkey's still back. He's back at the farm in Indiana, still farming or whatever. But I remember him like turning into like these ladies that we were looking at, like at the end of the night, we're in the line to go merch line and we're buying stuff. And these were older ladies, right? But like he's feeling himself as a young man does. And he's like, "How y'all doing?" Like he cracked just like that. And I was like, I'll wingman you, but when you crack, bro, I couldn't keep it together. I couldn't keep it together. And they just kind of looked and they were like, and I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, bro. I can't.
It's like
I'm
you're
not
gonna have to
gonna
move along, young
Let's
man.
just walk away. Let's walk away and keep a little dignity intact.
That's funny.
Oh, at the time, like, hey, I'm a young man. Let's see what can happen. Middle of Idaho. That makes a lot of sense. Oh my god.
I had a pretty wide range of music I listened to. Those were the two like harder bands I listened to a lot.
Mm.
I listened also to, and I think it's because I had been in a few bands and we covered Blink-182.
Mm.
Listened to them a lot.
They were real
Jack
popular
Johnson,
around Walla
Take
Walla.
off your
Oh,
plane,
Jack
listen,
Johnson
jacket,
was
man.
like
Jack Johnson. I was
Jack
all
and
of
Ben
it.
Harper. There was such a
All right.
hardcore fan base at Walla Walla.
Yeah.
And then 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the
Remember
band
Clinton?
Lit.
Clinton singing the
Lit.
the
Yeah.
Lit.
So
It's your birthday.
So-
Was that the name of the song? They would sing it all
Yeah.
the time. You
Wanna
just
By
hear it.
50 Cent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, go,
Go.
go.
Go. So simple. So simple.
Like Clinton singing it again.
And it's like,
So,
sold a million records.
I like the band Lit. I met them. They opened up for the band Eve 6 at the Moore
Oh,
Theater in
awesome.
Seattle in 99. And Jeremy Popoff, the lead guitarist with the goatee. I had a goatee at the time. And so he signed a dollar bill and put a massive goatee on George Washington's face.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
And then put a martini glass up there and wrote, "Hey Moose, nice to meet you," or something. And
That's cool.
that is when my experience with the band Lit started. And it's a long story, but I ended up seeing them randomly every couple of years. And now we talk on Instagram Messenger.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
And there's every once in a while, one of them from the band will be like, "Show us that dollar bill again," and I have to find the dollar bill and now it's
That's
saved in
awesome.
my Google Photos. But yeah, I saw them 2 years ago when I was in a wedding in Nashville, and we
Mm,
hung out. That was like
that's cool, man.
totally weird, wild, and random. But
Yeah. Blues
yeah,
knows everybody. That's what I always say.
those were the 7 bands that came to top of mind. Oh, and Eric Church Country.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Moose, I think you just gave a teaser because for the longest time I've called you the most interesting man in the world, the Dos Equis guy. And so as we continue to do this, as you share more and more about your life, there's a reason you got that moniker as the most
Yeah.
interesting man.
Yeah.
How about this?
Oh, look at that. He's got
Oh,
the new merch. The new
So
merch.
fresh.
we just got back from our third. I've been the athletic director here at Fraser Valley Adventist Academy for 3 years,
Mm,
and we just got back from our third basketball tournament at
How'd you do?
Walla Walla. Not bad, not bad. It's the first time our girls have had a varsity team since COVID. So
wow.
last year we had a JV team, and this year we put together a varsity team and had a great time. I had a
Awesome.
couple of girls that are like really good.
Mm,
They just never got a chance in high school because of COVID, and then one of
yeah.
them blew her ACL
Hey.
Ooh,
in PE. So she was finally all healed up this year and had a really great like rocking year for volleyball and for basketball. So that was cool.
cool.
And our boys, we have a good team. We were missing one of our better players, but we still had a good team and had a good run and won 2 games out of 5 and had 2 other close games.
Mm.
Got blown out in one, but had a couple of close games. But it's funny you say that I know everybody thing because,
You
I ran
do.
into
Because you
I
do.
ran into I ran into Greg Mager and
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny.
Cam Libby and Travis Tippett. And I didn't see Dovich this time because he just had like knee surgery or
Oh,
ankle
no.
surgery or
We'll
something.
have to get Dovich on here one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We saw Winslow in the
Nice.
fall
Him too.
last time I was
Yep.
down there.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. It was good to catch up with people.
That's awesome.
What about
Nice.
you guys? What was your big music? I know. Well, since we ran in the same circle, I'm sure Chevelle and
Yeah.
Seven
those
Dust.
videos. Yeah.
Chevelle was 100% on my list. Seven Dust wasn't on it yet.
Okay.
But I would because they're my favorite group. But yeah, they should be on it. But Hayes, you can go. Who do you got?
No, man, I'm trying to honestly, it's my stuff's always all over the place. So probably end of high school. Who I remember specifically driving across from Portland as I hit the desert, being the super eclectic dude that I am, but also like, oh, I need to have the right soundtrack for this trip that I had like pregame making the CD for it.
Nice.
And I 99% sure I was listening to John Mayer the entire ride across, which is so because I'd seen him in concert probably the May because like you remember like I'm in Alabama, right? So we want to go see a show. You got to go to Atlanta. You got to go up to
Wow.
Nashville. You can go to Birmingham. They have like Oak Mountain. They have a big venue there. But like
Which
with
mountain?
Oak Mountain, it's
Oak.
the only mountain. It's Oak Mountain. It's in the foothills of the
Nice.
Appalachians, right? The little part the trail's in. So I went to Oak Mountain to go see a show. But I'd gone to see because Seven Dust had been up there, like Third Eye Blind had been up there. There's a couple other ones
Oh,
that I was like
sweet.
into. But if I'm thinking about like my like coming
Bro,
into
Third Eye Blind was
Third Eye
big for
Blind,
you.
massive,
Yeah, big for you, man.
massive. Like when I tell you, like I still know that I still probably listen to it. To be fair, I used to listen to it almost like at least once a month, end to end, with the kids in the car singing the whole because I know the whole thing. You know what I mean? But like I know all of their stuff, but like specifically that first album was like super something about the timing, man. Like
Oh,
97, something
dang.
like that. It was super
It was
formative for me.
good.
And like that was still like entering college, that was huge, both albums. And then I think the what was the other next one?
Who's the you were
Carpenter.
also a big fan of the girl on the piano. What was her name? Was it Amy? Not Amy?
Vanessa Carlton or something?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, but like that was more like
Did that fizzle out?
Yeah. Well, no hatred.
Nope.
I mean, I'm not. Look, I wasn't quite Terry Crews. You know what I mean? I was.
I was gonna ask.
You know, what I mean? Wasn't quite like
Terry.
that. But
That
like,
was so good.
my
That's
my
funny.
taste was all over the place. Like, I was that, but like, I would listen to that, and then I would go to like Chevelle, and then I'd
Oh
go to
yeah.
like Pantera,
Yeah.
and then I would go to like whatever was so like. If I think about if I want to pull three, I'd say honestly, like if entering college, it'd have been Mayer, still Third Eye Blind, like in heavy rotation, Chevelle for sure. If I were to give it like a fourth honorable mention, it's really hard. I'm trying to think of, oh my God, not Puddle of Mud, but Puddle of Mud would have been in there for some reason.
Yeah, they were popular
Yeah.
around that
The
time. Yeah.
stuff I was listening to at that
Mhm.
time, because
Yeah.
I
It
just,
was
the
good
same
stuff.
albums, the same albums, like, you know, whatever I could get my hands on.
What about Stained?
Yeah.
Stained was actually that was the one
Shades of Grey
specifically.
came out, I think, my second year there. I was
That was
so
a good
pumped when
one.
that record came
eh,
out.
even before the one before that though, the one with Outside on it,
Break
the
the
one with the
Cycle.
Break the Cycle,
yeah.
man,
Good album.
that was what I tell you, I've never seen kids cry. Like, and I was like, now when I think about it, I'm like, man, we had a lot of emotions. But but at the time, when that album came out, I bought it the first day, I bought it to class, and I sit and turned on in French class. It was like my senior year, probably, because I had a French girlfriend or a Belgian girlfriend at the time. It was like
Ooh,
senior year. And I turned this on.
civilized.
Yeah, and like she like me and her were sitting in the back because she spoke fluent French, and I'm like, I basically took French because this is how I met the girl that spoke French. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I had game.
'cause
You
she
know
was
what I mean? Like, and I turned on this album. My French teacher was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "This is what I want to play." That's my French, by the way. What is this? Don't ask me. But I put on the Stained album, and I specifically turned to Outside, like the acoustic version or whatever that they put on, and it was like, because all we had was the one from the tour, from the Warped Tour, or
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
from
Yeah.
was it Warped Tour? It was from
Where,
Family
where
Values
Fred,
Tour?
where Fred Durst is
no,
singing on
Family
it too.
Values, Family Values. The one with
Values.
Fred Durst sitting there next to him with the red
Yeah.
tab, like, sing this
Yeah.
song. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
Fred,
yeah.
like, whatever.
This is the real mother field, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Y'all get out your lighters.
Exactly, man. But that song specifically, I remember sitting in class, and when I tell you I was the only one that had the CD, kids gathered around this like little projector, like tiny, like tape deck CD player, girls just bawling, full on crying because we had so many feelings. And I was like, man, I love some Stain, man. That old school Stain, man. Jeez.
Aaron Lewis is bringing it out of you, man. He's
It
making
hit
you
hard.
feel. He's making you
You
feel
had
it.
so much emotion that you
Uh-huh.
didn't know what to do with, but it
And
hit
such
hard.
a unique voice when he's singing metal. His
Yeah,
voice
For
is so
sure,
unique.
man. For
Yeah.
sure. It's yeah. I haven't dug much of the country. I know it's not awful, but like I haven't really explored it. But like
I got a couple of the records. I mean, he's gotten so political. It's, anyways, but
Yeah,
I
part
just
of
want to focus on the music. I got to tell you, Stain,
Yeah.
though, I'm only going to say her first name, but when Shades of Grey came out, I think that's the name of their third or fourth record.
Mhm.
There was a girl, I'll just say her first name, Heather, that I was drawn to. Nothing
Yeah.
ever came of it. But we got out of class, we did a class together, and I had recently bought that album, and Price
Yeah.
to Pay was the single.
Yeah.
And so like I'm turning it up extra loud, just trying to see if she would like,
Time to beat a
look
fight.
over my way as
Yeah.
I'm pulling out with my big Bronco. And anyways,
Bronco.
nothing ever happened, but that was me trying. I should have took French. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
look,
my
man.
story. It didn't
Look,
work
man.
out.
Look, I rolled the dice on that one. There was like it was either Spanish or like, oh, well, there's this girl that dances and she's from Belgium. And I knew she spoke fluent French. So I'm like, I could pretend to be dumb and like ask for help, whatever. You know what I mean? It worked.
I
Didn't
don't
work out fully, but it worked for that year. It's good.
I don't remember that girl, Chris.
No.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you
I-
guys
I do.
later. It's like, I don't want to reveal
I
on
do.
this thing. I'll tell you guys later.
I remember.
Listen, there was attractive ladies all around us, and so sometimes it worked out, and sometimes it didn't. And more of the
Yeah.
time, didn't.
Yeah. Talk about story for another time, but talk about
I'll put it in our group thread, but I'll be curious if you guys are surprised by who I say. You're gonna know who it is when I write it.
Yeah. I might like that's the whole surprise. I mean, honestly, you were in my that's the one. That's the
That's
family
it, right?
values.
There you
Yep,
go.
that's it. You were in my wedding, Chris. So you remember like my entire shock, as much as it shocked the rest of my family. I went here and I got married. It was so bizarre, man. I never because you're into girls or whatever, but you're not like that wasn't planned. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
wasn't
By
that?
any means. That
I'm
was
gonna go get an
nowhere near the plan.
education. Have some
You
fun. Yeah.
You
I thought
hadn't
that's
heard
cool.
it called the Western Wedding College before you got there?
Ooh,
Listen,
not
all I
me.
knew was Oakwood, and Oakwood is like the black equivalent, right? Like, but they just
Oh,
make
really?
preachers. Oh, well, they make
Yeah, that's
preachers.
true.
So in my
Preachers.
church, for
Preachers' wives.
context, yeah, my church, they call it the church I grew up in is called Bethany, and they call it the Sons of Bethany. When I kid you not, there's like 12 dudes that are like still active. Like the oldest one just retired, that are all preachers. Like the generation before me, they went to Oakwood and they were like, you must be going to Oakwood. You must nah, nah, I'm good.
Probably not.
No, I'm good. Right. But it just was what it was. Yeah.
Who
Right.
else you got, Hayes? Anyone else?
Let me think. The only other one like top of mind, those were the man. There's so many like little tiny ones. Blink was huge.
Yep.
Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, that whole first summer too,
Yep.
that whole album, like
Yep.
all of that was like stuck in my head. And then the I can't remember if it was that album or the next one with like, I just remember the stupid lyric, and I think it's Take Off Your. It's like something about, I can remember, I can say it in my head, the notes like forgiveness. I can't do the voice, but you know what I mean. It's like
Oh,
a
like Adam's song? The one
yeah, that's
about
one of those.
Oh,
suicide?
well,
But that
okay.
was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
That was a
That
good
was
song.
I love, man. Because back then when I listened to something, like I absorbed the whole thing. I'm like I'm going to study this body of work, and now those were like the ones like that would hit. And then the only other like old school one that I probably, because I will say when I went to college, I had gone through like a 70s arc, probably like junior high school time frame, right? Where I was like a lot of Sabbath, a lot of Hendrix, a lot of stuff like that, because that's the stuff I used to listen to with my dad's. And like, I mean on 8-track. So like, you know, like old school. So like I went the whole wave of that stuff, and that stuff was still pretty prevalent in my list too. Yeah.
Well, and this was the time too of, Napster had done its thing, but had all these
Yeah.
other services out there where you could just download music and get viruses on your computer. And so I think that's
Yeah.
where I pinged into some of this stuff. But
Yeah.
I had Chevelle on my list, Three Days Grace,
Oh,
because
yeah.
their debut came out. I Hate Everything About You, I think is the name of the song, or Just Like You.
Yeah.
Those
I
two
saw
big
that too.
songs were
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Mentioned Chevelle. Alter Bridge was another one. I remember seeing their
Yeah.
video
Post-Creed.
from their debut. Yeah. The
Yeah,
Scott
yeah.
Stapp, whatever does this
Yep.
thing, and those guys form Alter Bridge with Miles Kennedy.
Yeah.
But I remember they were originally called the Civilian Project,
Mm.
but they turned into Audio Slave, right? It's the Rage Against the Machine
Oh
guys
my
with Chris
God.
Cornell. And so
Yeah.
I was so intrigued by what they were. So I started getting a little song here and there, and then Cochise and
good.
Show Me How to
Show Me
Live,
How to Live
and
all. Yeah.
that first record. There's so many songs,
Like a
but it's so
Stone?
good. Yeah,
Right,
Like a Stone.
Like a
I Am the
Stone, man.
Highway. I mean,
Everything, everything they were doing, everything that God, why am I losing his name? I just saw him last week. You know what I'm talking about. My guitar guy from Rage.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
thinking about Tremonti just now, so
Tom
Tremonti stuck in my
Morello?
head.
yeah, Morello. Yeah, there you
Thank
go.
you. Everything Morello was doing back then, especially on the guitar,
It just
was
was gold.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, was just the inventiveness of like, I'm gonna do this. Like in my mind, he was doing the things that Mark Tremonti thought he was doing. Because if you remember Mark Tremonti, even that first Alter Bridge album, he still had a little bit of that. Like, he's like, well, Staff's gone. There's nobody to do the Jesus pose now. So I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to play this guitar, and I'm going to make these expressions while I'm playing okay licks, right? I liked it, right? But like relatively benign, straightforward licks. But I'm going to play this as if like, do you see what my fingers are doing right now? Like every expression on his face was like, oh my, do you realize how good this is? Like how privileged you are to hear me play this.
Scott Stapp was mentoring him. He was like in the Big Brother role. He couldn't help it.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, what about Linkin Park?
Yeah, oh yeah, because Meteora came out when I was up there. The second record came out.
The one with yeah, you're right.
I still listen though to what's it called?
Hybrid Theory? First one?
Hybrid Theory.
That's a Desert Island album, man. That's so good, front to back.
So good.
And I forgot. I don't know why I skipped this because I just saw him like a couple months ago with Incubus. Duh. I don't have
Oh yeah, Incubus was big too. Yeah,
that was a huge one. Specifically, Morning View, which is the album I saw him on a couple weeks ago. Or it's been months now, but like,
how were they? I've never seen them live.
Man, it was it was one of those things where like it was one of those dad ones because I took my kid. It was his first
Yeah.
show.
Oh, cool.
So like the whole experience was awesome. We had decent enough seats. Like we weren't like nosebleed, but I didn't want to put him front and center and be like, hey, your ears are gonna get damaged for, you know what I mean? Like first show, I'm like medium stage. And he doesn't know what he's in for. And I'm like, I think he thinks it's like dad in the car, you're gonna listen to like the top hits and then you're gonna move on. Like, nah, kid, this is like the whole thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, so we got earplugs and the whole thing for him, but like it was Brandon Boyd did everything I expected and then some. The only, and I won't even call it a disappointment. He did my favorite song acoustic. And I know why he did it acoustic, because me who cannot sing, it breaks my voice, like doing it full throttle, right? And I love it because my kid listens to this song now. Like if it's bath time or whatever, he will set up his laptop with his playlist. And like Blood on the Ground is a song, and Blood on the Ground comes on, and he's belting it. Like,
Love it.
and I'm like, it's one of those like,
You said that's my boy.
yeah, pretty much. I'm like, for all the things I do wrong in this job, every once in a while, I get something right. And I'm like, I've done this. Like, I think of it, this is a weird deep cut, but have you ever seen, oh my God, it's a good movie. It's with,
Adam
he plays
Sandler.
like, no, close. He plays an autistic guy, Affleck. He plays an autistic guy who's like,
Oh, the accountant.
the accountant. There you go. Favorite scene of that. The dad, you know, he's the famous actor. It's not William H. Macy. It's the other guy who's like him. He's like, he's like the Affleck guy. He's done a bunch of stuff, but he's the bald guy with
he's
glasses.
buff, right? When you see his biceps,
Now he's
jacked.
buff. Yeah. Now he's jacked, but he's a very
J.K.
famous.
Simmons.
There you go.
J.K. Simmons. Thank you. Best part of that whole movie. Walks in, he's clearing the house, and J.K. Simmons gets rolled up on him. He's gonna take him out, right? And J.K. said he's asked him, hey, he's like, don't shoot me. He's like, hey, I'm a dad, and he's like, okay, cool. Are your kids still young? Or like, he's like, no. We asked him, were you bad at it? He's like, and the guy's like, goes this whole thing. He's like, I'm a bad FBI agent, I'm a bad husband, but that's the one thing I did right. Like, it's weird, that little scene. Like, it's stuck with me, man. Like, it's just like, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, that's the one thing I want. That's all I want. I just want to get that one thing right. And I'm like, if I do that right, I'm like, okay. And every time I hear my kid so far, like when he's like belting out his songs or he's playing Queen or whatever he's into, I love it.
Making dad proud.
Yeah, man.
Well, gentlemen,
totally.
we reached our first hour, right? This maiden voyage of this
Awesome.
podcast,
Nice.
WWC Rock Days, some teasers for upcoming episodes. Mr. Moose recently went to the Philippines, so we're going to talk about that experience, three-week trip, I think.
Yeah.
Talk more about music we were listening to, and then on, but also as we're talking, I have stories flashing in my mind from our days in Walla Walla. So we'll start sharing more stories, and we might have some special guests come on to hear from Walla Walla. You know what I'm saying?
Murphy
Awesome.
Pal.
Murphy Pal, let's get him on.
Yeah,
The
man.
Makers, why not? Let's get these boys on here.
Yeah, fine. That'd be cool, man.
Gentlemen, any last words as we say farewell?
No, it was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah,
It's like,
great.
we talk all the time via text or whatever, but it's always good to catch up face to face and see you fine fellows still looking good. All of us with the chiseled beard now.
We're distinguished.
Distinguished beard.
Very much.
Might a little more disheveled than normal, but it's still all right. It's still
Look
all right.
great. Look fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
Good stuff.
hold on.
All right, fellas. Be well.
Same to you, man.
Have a good
one.
week.